think it's too old to play softball?
No.
Neither do I. Neither do I. You know, I know the difference between a sacrifice bunt and a squeeze bunt. Do you guys?
No.
Oh, we got some baseball players in here, I can tell.
Yep.
I know almost everything there is to know about baseball. My name is Hot Corner Charlie.
Hot corner Charlie.
Hot Corner Charlie.
Hot corner Charlie.
Yeah. That pretty little lady over there, that little filly, that's Giddy Up Gretchen. We just call her Giddy Up.
Oh, you're Bronson and Brady's mom.
Not today, I'm giddy up.
So we just call her Giddy Up. I played almost everywhere in the world. I played on the other side of the world in a country called Turkey. It's right next to Iran. You might have heard of Iran.
It's true.
I played in England,
It's true.
which is on the other side of the ocean. I played for the United States Air Force teams. I played in California. I played in Iowa. I played in Nebraska. I played in Sioux City, Columbus, Kearney, Grand Island, Lakenheath Air Force Base in England, Incirlik Air Force Base on the southern tip of the Mediterranean in Turkey.
Does Turkey have a lot of turkeys?
Turkey has no turkeys, but you know what Turkey has? A lot of camels.
Yum.
Have you ever tried to get up on a camel?
I went on a camel.
You need a step ladder to get on top of a camel.
No, I don't. Yeah.
I can't even hit a baseball high enough to get up to the top of a camel.
I can.
Really tall. I know what you guys are thinking, by the way. You're thinking, why do they call me Hot Corner Charlie?
Nuh-uh. Yeah.
Who knows why I'm called Hot Corner Charlie? Why?
Because you love parkour.
No. Why?
Because you love parkour.
Because you're a baseball player that's really good.
No. I'm going to tell you why I'm called Hot Corner Charlie. It's because the third baseman, he's on the left side of the infield, is the closest player to the batter except for the catcher and the pitcher. He's less than 90 feet away. That's pretty close. Now, why do they call me Hot Corner? Because third base on the left-hand side is so close that if the batter hits a ball at me, it's coming so fast I have to carry a fire extinguisher inside my glove to put it out. Is that hot, that fast? Anybody else carry a fire extinguisher to put him out? No. Well, the reason that Giddy Up is called Giddy Up is because when she was a young woman, a young little girl still in high school, she used to barrel race with a horse. You know what barrel racing is?
Yeah, I knew that.
All right, barrel racing is when she gets on top of a horse and she goes as fast as she can around these big barrels and tries to get there in a very short time. And if she's the fastest, she's the winner.
I did.
But do you know what Giddy Up can do? She can run faster than a horse. That's why we call her Giddy Up.
That's true.
That's right.
It's true, Bronson.
You know, like I said when I first started, I know just about everything there is to know about baseball. You know that? If you ask me a question, I can tell you right away the answer. But when I was your age, when I was about 6 or 7 years old, I didn't know anything about baseball. Matter of fact, one day I think it was 6, maybe 7 years old. My daddy came up to me and I used to call my daddy then. My daddy used to come up and this one particular day, he said, "Chucker," he always called me Chucker. Even to the day he died, he called me Chucker. He said, "Chucker, we're going to go learn how to play baseball." And so I said, "Okay, Daddy." So we got in our old Studebaker and we drove out to the baseball field. And when we got out of the car, he took me up to this man. He says, "Chucker, this is Coach." You do everything Coach says to do. I said, okay, Daddy. Then he walked around and sat in some chairs behind the great big screen. I think they call it a backstop or something. He sat behind there and he just looked at me. And Coach looked at me. He looked down at me. Coach was a big man. He was tall and he was big, had a curly old mustache on him. And he said, okay, Chucker, is that Chucker? I said, yes, sir. He said, Chucker, you go stand over in the batter's box. So I said, okay, I'll do that. I walk around and I walk all over the field. The whole field I walked over and I couldn't find a box. And I went up to the coach, I said, Coach, I looked everywhere, I can't find a box. I can't find a wooden box, can't find a cardboard box, I can't find a paper box, can't find a plastic box, I can't find a box anywhere. Well, Coach looked up in the air, then he looked over at my dad, then he looked back at me, and breathed heavy. And he says, okay, Chucker, you go over there by home plate. I said, Coach, I didn't bring a plate from home. I didn't bring a saucer from home. I didn't bring any silverware from home. I didn't bring anything from home. And so he looked up in the air again. He looked over at my dad again. My dad went, I don't know. He looked back at me and he said, okay, come with me. And he took me over, told me to stand right here, and says, stay here. And you know what he had me stand? That little piece of rubber, white rubber, was right in front of me. He says, now, I'm going to have a pitcher. I says, Coach, I'm not thirsty. I don't need a pitcher of water, milk, Kool-Aid, whatever. I don't need a pitcher. Coach then looked down and gets it. That little boy over there, he's the pitcher, okay? We call him a pitcher. I thought, wow, Coach, get a pitcher. What am I, an applesauce, or what am I going to be? But he's the pitcher, he said. And he's going to throw the ball to you. He's going to throw the ball to you, and I want you to hit that ball as hard as you can, and if you hit it hard enough, you can get a home run. I said, Coach, I don't want to run home. My dad's there looking. He's trying to get me to learn how to play baseball. Well, that's all I got to say about that. Hey, did you know there are vampires in baseball?
No, there are.
Yes, there's vampires in baseball. Yep. Right behind that boy that squats down, looks like he wants somebody to throw the ball into the dirt at him, there's a vampire standing right there. Standing right there. And that vampire standing right there, if that ball is good enough to hit, then he'll say, strike! That's what he does. In vampire talk anyway. And if it's not good enough to hit, if it's so far I couldn't hit the ball, he'll say, ball. And then
Hot corner.
Huh?
Hot corner.
Oh, really, there is. Now, if you hit the ball, he said, run to first base fast as you can.
Those are umpires.
Oh, they're umpires. And the one at first base, he says you're out or you're safe.
Those are umpires, not vampires.
Well, now I know everything about baseball. I don't know. I guess I just better read this poem here. There's a poem here, and there's a poem here that was written 140 years ago. That's even older than I am. That's older than your grandpa is. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was written in 1888.
Wow.
Do you know Nebraska wasn't even a state in 1888?
Yes.
Yeah. When was Nebraska a state? A long time ago? That's right. A long time ago. You got some smart people in this room, boy. Okay, I'm going to read you this poem, but it was written 140 years ago. So some of the words that we know now wasn't the same meaning as the words back then. Do you know that? Words can kind of change in their meaning and how you're using them. Okay? It's like the word, well, here, let's take another story. It says in here, they're going to use the word Rocky. Well, it don't mean Rocky Balboa. It don't mean the Rocky Mountains. It don't mean Rocky Road ice cream. In 1888, Rocky meant you aren't doing too good. You know, the pitcher's having a rocky start. You know, he's getting hit pretty hard. Means you're having a little bit of problem and you're behind usually. That's Rocky back in 1888. So when I say Rocky, you'll think they aren't doing very good, okay? And back then, by the way, you know, every town in Nebraska, which wasn't Nebraska, and all the rest of the towns, which were the towns, okay, do you know they all had baseball teams?
My dad played on one.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Your dad was maybe as old as I am, huh?
Well, he was way older.
He was way older, probably back in before the Second World War, I'll bet. Yeah. Do you know during the Second World War, and I'm going off track, but I'm going to use up all my time anyway. Do you know during the Second World War, girls played baseball and they played it for money and they did it professionally? Do you know that?
Yes.
There was a movie about that. Anybody know the name of the movie?
I know.
What was it?
The Sandlot.
The Sandlot? Well, they had maybe a girl or two in there, but not in the Sandlot. What's the movie? Yeah, it wasn't I Forgot either. What was the name of the movie? Giddy up, you know the name of that movie.
The Peaches, was it the Peaches with a team? Oh yeah, A League of Their Own. Thanks,
A
Aaron.
League of Their Own. If you ever see that, girls play really
A League of
good
Their Own.
baseball.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great.
Couldn't remember the title.
That's all right, Giddy up. You don't have to giddy up so fast right now. Okay, there are other names.
Sure.
There's names in here. You know one of the names?
I just know that you're my grandpa.
Well, yeah, I'm Hot Corner Grandpa. Yes, that's right. There are names in here I want you to know when I start reading about it. There's guys like Cooney, Burrows.
I knew that, actually.
There's guys like, let's see, a lot, Flynn, Babe Ruth, no.
It was before Babe
By the
Ruth.
way, that takes me off on our complete subject. You know, everybody in baseball that somebody has a name. Like, get it, you got a name, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We
Yep.
called you because you're so fast. I'm Hot Corner. Do you know there are baseball players that have a lot of funny names? Like, there's one called Baby. Yeah, but do you know they made a candy bar called Babe Ruth?
I know
It
that.
was called Baby Ruth. Yeah, and there's guys that named after fishes. There's Gil Hodges. He didn't have gills like fishes do, but he was the first baseman. There's Mickey Mantle, and he wasn't Mantle on top of a fireplace or anything. There was all kinds of baseball players, and they had all kinds of neat names. Like, what's your first name?
Kendall.
Kendall? Okay, well, they would probably, let's see, Kendall. They would think of a Kendall. Maybe a candle. They would maybe call you Light Up. Where you would be Light Up Kendall. What's your name over here?
Henry.
Henry! Oh, I love Henry. That's a great name. Do you know what they would call you, Henry? If let's see. They would call you Henry Accurate. Do you know why? Because there was a Henry Aaron already, and they would think of as it being an error, so they would call you Henry Accurate. And you wouldn't know why until somebody finally told you. Or until you did something weird and then they changed your name. Like if you went out and you broke your arm, okay, they might say, oh, there's Harry Broken Wing. And they start calling you Broken Wing or something. Okay, well that's all I got to say about that too. Okay, we're going to start reading this. We're going to start reading the poem. You ready? Now, pay attention. Remember, Rocky means you're not doing very good, and then there's Barrel, and there's Cooney, and Flynn, and all these other people. Okay, ready?
Listen to Grandpa.
Mary had
came
a
out.
little lamb. His fleece was white as snow.
That's not the story.
April Fools. Okay, are you ready now? This is serious. This is serious stuff. It looked extremely rocky. Very good, huh? They must be fun. For Mudville, 9 people on the baseball team. For the Mudville 9 that day, the score stood 2-4, but with only 1 inning left to play. And so when Cooney, remember Cooney, when he died at first, and Burroughs, he did the same, a sickly silence fell upon all the patrons of that game. But if only Casey could get but 1 whack at that, they put up even money now with Casey at the bat. How much are they behind? 2 runs, wasn't it 2-4?
Yes, 2-4.
Yeah. But Flynn, he preceded Casey, and so did Jimmy Blake. The former was a washout. That means he wasn't very good. And the latter, Jimmy Blake, he was a fake. That means he was really not much of a hitter. If he hit the ball, he was lucky. Okay? But Flynn, he let drive a single right up the middle of the plate and got on first base. And Jimmy Blake tore the cover off the ball. He hit it so hard, and when everything was all over, there was Flynn on third base and Jimmy Blake on second base. Wow, 2 people on base. How much are they behind? 2 runs, aren't they? And they got 2 people on bases. Wow. I'm glad I'm reading this. Then, from the multitude that was gladdened went up a joyous yell. It rumbled in the mountaintops, it rattled in the dell. It stuck upon the hillside and it rebounded on the flat for Casey, the best baseball player Mudville ever had. For Casey, mighty Casey was advancing to the bat. I hope he does something here. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into the plate. There was pride in Casey's bearing as he smiled upon his face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt that it was Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands in dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded as he wiped him on his shirt. Then the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip. Pitchers do that sometimes. Defiance glanced on Casey's face, a sneer curled Casey's lips. And now the leather-covered sphere, that's the baseball, came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood watching it with haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike 1, the umpire said. Not the vampire, the umpire. From the benches, black with people, there went a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Said someone in the stands. It's likely they had killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He made the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once the spheroid flew, baseball came in again. But Casey, he still ignored it. The umpire said, strike 2! Well, fraud! Fraud! The maddened crowd said. They echoed fraud. But one scornful look from Casey in the audience was odd. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. They knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is gone from Casey's lips. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds his cruel vengeance, his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light, and somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there's no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. That's all I gotta say about that. The end.